Chapter 1: The Amnesiac Mistress. The hospital room smells like antiseptic and regret, a sterile tang that clings to the back of my throat. I'm perched on a stiff chair, one hand resting on the swell of my belly, 4 months along with twins, courtesy of a certain alpha's drunken indiscretion. Across from me, Francis lies in a crisp white bed, his dark hair mussed, his sharp jaw softened by the fluorescent glow. He's awake, staring at me with those ridiculous hazel eyes, all earnest and trembly, like he's about to cry or propose or both. "Vincent," he says, voice low and shaky, "I know I'm just your assistant. And your lover? The one you keep in the shadows." I blink. Then blink again. My lips twitch, fighting a grin. "Say that again." "You're my what?" He flushes, long lashes fluttering as he drops his gaze to his hands, twisting the bedsheet. "Your special assistant. And your secret paramour. I know it's wrong, but I can't help how I feel about you." I squint at him, leaning back in my chair. Holy hell, he actually believes this. The doctor's words from earlier ring in my ears. Francis took a tumble down the stairs. No major damage, but he's lost some memories and jumbled others. Thinks he's your illicit lover, not your husband. Go along with it to avoid stressing his brain. Oh, I'm going along with it, all right. This is too good. Francis, my smug, insufferable alpha husband of 5 years, reduced to a groveling sidepiece? I could kiss that staircase. Secret paramour, huh? I drawl, crossing my arms. So what, you're my dirty little mistress? The one I sneak around with while my husband's off doing husband things? His face goes crimson, but he nods, all serious and tragic. Yes. I know you're married, Vincent. I know you love him. But he chokes up, eyes glistening. I love you too. I've loved you for years, even if I'm just a toy to you. I snort, loud and unladylike, and his head snaps up, hurt flashing across his face. Oh, this is rich. Francis, the guy who's been my rival since we were kids fighting over who could climb the tallest tree, now thinks he's my tragic fling. And I'm pregnant with his twins, no less, from that one night he got plastered and marked me during his rut. I was pissed as hell when I found out, ran off to Europe for 2 months to avoid him. But now I'm having the time of my life. Toy, huh? I lean forward, smirking. That's a cute way to say homewrecker. Tell me, Francis, how's it feel to be my bit on the side? He flinches, but his jaw tightens, and he meets my gaze with a stubborn glint. I don't care what you call it. I'd rather be your plaything than nothing at all. I'll take whatever you give me, Vincent. Just don't end this. I raise an eyebrow, tapping a finger against my belly. Even though I'm carrying my husband's kids? Pretty bold, Francis. What if he finds out? He's out of town, sure, but walls have ears. His fingers clutch the sheet so hard his knuckles whiten. I'll be careful, he says, voice barely above a whisper. I've always been careful. And I don't need you to leave him. I know you love him more. I want to make you happy. Even if it's temporary. I'm cackling inside. This is better than any reality show. I glance at the doctor's chart on the bedside table, remembering her warning, no sudden shocks. Let him process at his own pace. Fine, I'll play ball. But I'm not letting him off easy. Not after he got me into this mess. 2 babies and a waistline that's starting to betray me. Happy, huh? I sigh dramatically, rubbing my belly for effect. Well, my husband's kids are making me cranky, and I've got needs, you know. Pregnant omegas get demanding. You up for the job, or should I cut you loose? His eyes widen, and he sits up straighter, wincing slightly from the movement. I'm up for it, he says, all eager puppy energy. I'll do anything you ask. Anything to stay close to you. I bite my lip to keep from laughing. Anything? Careful, Francis. That's a dangerous promise. He leans forward, his scent, a warm mix of cedar and spice, hitting me like a freight train. Damn alpha pheromones. My body's already reacting, a faint flush creeping up my neck. Stupid pregnancy hormones. I mean it, he says, voice husky. You're everything to me, Vincent. Even if I'm just temporary. I roll my eyes, but my heart does a weird little flip. He's always been intense, even back when we were bickering over exam scores or who could eat more pizza. But this vulnerable, lovesick version of Francis is new. And annoyingly endearing. All right, lover boy, I say, standing and stretching, my shirt pulling tight over my bump. You're discharged. Pack your sad little bag and come with me. I'm not letting you wander off and trip over another staircase. He scrambles out of bed, still in his hospital gown, looking like a kicked puppy who just got tossed a bone. Where are we going? My place, I say, smirking. Gotta keep my mistress close, right? But don't get any ideas. My husband's the jealous type. His face falls, but he nods, grabbing his clothes from the chair. I'll be discreet. I promise. I turn away to hide my grin. Discreet, my ass? This is going to be fun. I'm already picturing the look on his face when he sees the apartment. Willie, my assistant, has been busy turning it into a shrine of my fake married life. Wedding photos, couples mugs, the works. If Francis wants to play the tragic mistress, I'll give him the full soap opera experience. As we head to the elevator, he hovers close, his hand brushing mine before he pulls back, like he's scared to touch me. Vincent, he murmurs. Thank you? For not throwing me away. I glance at him, his earnest face making my chest tighten. Damn it. I'm supposed to be mad at him, not melting. Don't thank me yet, I say, keeping my tone light. You've got a lot of groveling to do. He nods, like it's the most natural thing in the world. I will. Whatever it takes. The elevator dings, and I step inside, my mind racing. This game is dangerous. Francis's scent, his voice, his stupidly pretty eyes are already messing with me. But I'm in control. I have to be. Because if I let myself think about how much I've missed him these past 2 months, or how his drunken mistake left me with 2 tiny heartbeats in my belly, I might just forget this is all a charade. Move it, mistress, I say, nudging him into the elevator. We've got work to do. He follows, his gaze fixed on me like I'm the only thing in the world. And for one stupid, reckless moment, I wonder what it'd be like if he looked at me like that when his brain wasn't scrambled. Chapter 2, Playing House. The apartment smells like fresh paint and deceit, courtesy of Willie's overzealous decorating. I push open the door, letting Francis trail behind me, his duffel bag slung over one shoulder. The living room's a masterpiece of fake domestic bliss, throw pillows embroidered with cheesy hearts, a framed wedding photo on the mantel, and a pair of mismatched mugs screaming. His and his. I owe Willie a raise for this. Or a vacation. Maybe both. Francis freezes in the doorway, his hazel eyes locking onto the massive wedding photo. It's me, grinning like an idiot, next to a photoshopped Jeffrey, all chiseled jaw and smoldering gaze. I squint at it, realizing Willie must have pulled Jeffrey's face from some old college group shot. The guy looks good, I'll give him that. Too bad Francis looks like he just swallowed a lemon. Nice place, he says, voice tight, setting his bag down with exaggerated care. Very cozy. I kick off my shoes, smirking. Yeah, my husband's got great taste. Unlike some people. He flinches, but recovers fast, kneeling to pick up my sneakers and place them neatly by the door. Let me help you get settled, he says, all earnest assistant vibes. You shouldn't be on your feet too much. Not in your condition. My hand drifts to my belly, the twins making their presence known with a faint flutter. Damn, that's still weird. Condition, huh? You mean the part where I'm hauling around 2 future troublemakers, courtesy of a certain alpha's bad decisions? His face goes scarlet, and he ducks his head, fussing with my shoes like they're fine china. I'll make it up to you. Whatever you need, Vincent. I'm here. Oh, he's too easy. I flop onto the couch, stretching out and propping my feet on the coffee table. Fine. Start with these. I wiggle my toes. Pregnancy's hell on the arches. He hesitates, then kneels again, his big hands surprisingly gentle as he lifts one foot and starts massaging. His cedar and spice scent wraps around me, warm and distracting, and I have to bite my cheek to stay focused. This is supposed to be punishment, not a spa day. So, I say, leaning back, how's it feel knowing you're rubbing the feet of a married man? Pretty scandalous, Francis. His thumbs pause, pressing a little harder before he answers. I don't care who you're married to, he murmurs, eyes fixed on my foot like it's a sacred relic. I just want to take care of you. Even if it's wrong. I snort, but my pulse picks up. Damn him and his stupid sincerity. Wrong? You're practically begging to be my dirty little secret. What's next, sneaking into my bed while my husband's away? His hands still, and when he looks up, his eyes are dark, intense. If that's what you want, he says, voice low. I'd do it. I'd do anything. My breath catches, and I curse my omega hormones for making me flush. This is not the plan. I'm supposed to be tormenting him, not getting all hot and bothered. Careful, I say, pulling my foot back and sitting up. My husband's got a temper. Wouldn't want him catching you. Francis's jaw tightens, and he glances at the wedding photo again. He doesn't deserve you, he mutters, almost too quiet to hear. He's never here. I'd never leave you alone like this. I raise an eyebrow, leaning forward. Oh? And what makes you think you're better than him? Last I checked, you're the one groveling at my feet. He swallows hard, his Adam's apple bobbing. Because I love you, he says, like it's the most obvious thing in the world. I've loved you for years, Vincent. Even if you don't love me back. Even if I'm just temporary. My smirk falters. Shit. He's too good at this tragic lover act. I clear my throat, standing up to break the tension. Yeah, well, love's overrated. Right now, I need a snack and a nap. You gonna play houseboy or what? He scrambles to his feet, nodding like a soldier on a mission. I'll get you something. What do you want? Fruit? Sandwiches? I can order takeout, chill, I say, waving him off. There's leftover pizza in the fridge. Heat it up. And don't burn my kitchen down. He heads to the kitchen, and I sink back onto the couch, rubbing my temples. This is getting out of hand. Francis's scent lingers, making my skin prickle, and I can't stop thinking about that night, the one where he lost control, pinned me to his bed, and marked me so thoroughly I'm still carrying the consequences. I was furious, yeah, but there was a moment, just a flash, where I didn't want him to stop. And now, with him acting like some lovesick puppy, I'm starting to wonder if I'm the one losing my mind. The microwave beeps, and Francis returns with a plate of pizza, setting it on the coffee table like it's a 5-star meal. Eat, he says softly, sitting on the floor beside me. You need to keep your strength up. I grab a slice, eyeing him. You're really leaning into this mistress thing, huh? What's next, fanning me with palm leaves? He grins, a rare flash of his old cocky self. If that's what you want, I'll find some leaves. I laugh despite myself, and for a second, it's like we're kids again, bickering over who gets the last slice. But then his gaze softens, lingering on my belly, and my stomach flips. Damn it, Vincent, focus. He's your husband, not your lover. And he's only here because his brain's on the fritz. Vincent, he says, hesitating. Can I touch it? Just for a second. I freeze pizza halfway to my mouth. My belly? Why? He shrugs, looking sheepish. I want to feel them. Your kids. Even if they're not mine. My heart does that stupid flip again. I should say no, keep the game going, but his expression, hopeful, vulnerable, undoes me. Fine, I mutter, setting the pizza down. But don't get weird about it. He scoots closer, his hand hovering before gently resting on my bump. His touch is warm, careful, and I swear I feel a kick, like the twins know their dad's here. His eyes light up, and he laughs, a soft, odd sound. They're strong, he says. Like you? I roll my eyes, but I'm blushing. Yeah, well, they better be. They've got a lot to live up to. He pulls his hand back, but his scent spikes, rich and possessive, and my body reacts before I can stop it. A wave of heat rolls through me, my fake indignation crumbling. Damn pregnancy hormones. Damn alpha pheromones. Damn him. Francis, I say, voice sharper than I mean. Bedroom. Now. His eyes widen, but he's on his feet in a second, offering his hand. Your husband's not here, he says, a hint of defiance in his tone. Let me take care of you. I take his hand, letting him pull me up, my heart pounding. This is a bad idea. A terrible, wonderful idea. But as he leads me down the hall, past that stupid wedding photo, I can't help but grin. Jeffrey's landing tomorrow, and when he does, this little charade is about to get a whole lot messier. Chapter 3, Des Deep in Drama. The office hums with coffee and ambition, a hub for coding dreams and clashing egos. I'm slouched in my ergonomic chair, 4 months pregnant, and feeling every bit of it, my belly straining against my shirt. Francis is on his knees, again, rubbing my calves with the focus of a man defusing a bomb. His hands are warm, his scent a distracting haze of cedar and spice that's making it hard to concentrate on the spreadsheet glaring at me from my monitor. "You're gonna wear out my legs," I say, kicking lightly at his shoulder. "What's next? Polishing my shoes?" He looks up, hazel eyes all earnest and puppy-like. "If you want. I'm here to help, Vincent. Whatever you need." I roll my eyes, but my lips twitch. He's too damn good at this. "Help? You're my assistant, not my masseuse. Though I gotta say, you're acing the mistress vibe." His face flushes, but he doesn't stop, thumbs working a knot in my calf. "I'm just making sure you're comfortable. You're carrying twins. It's a lot." "Yeah, no shit," I mutter, leaning back. Twins he put there, not that he remembers. I'm about to tease him again when there's a knock at the door, followed by a familiar voice, smooth and teasing. "Vincent? You decent?" Francis freezes, hands clamping on my legs like a startled cat. Before I can answer, he dives under my desk, all 6'2" of him folding into a space meant for cables and coffee cups. I stare at the empty air where he was, torn between laughing and groaning. "Seriously?" I hiss, nudging his shoulder with my foot. He shushes me, his breath hot against my ankle. "Don't let him know I'm here," he whispers, like we're in some spy flick. I bite back a grin as the door swings open, revealing Jeffrey, all long legs and Hollywood charm, his dark hair swept back like he just stepped off a red carpet. He's in a tailored blazer, looking every bit the alpha heartthrob, and I can't help but notice Francis's grip on my ankle tightens. "Hey, stranger," Jeffrey says, flashing a grin that's equal parts charm and mischief. "Miss your face." I lean forward, resting my chin on my hand to hide my amusement. "Miss yours too, husband." The word feels like a grenade, and I swear I hear Francis choke under the desk. Jeffrey's grin widens, catching on quick. We texted this morning to set up his role as my fake spouse, and he's clearly ready to ham it up. "How's my favorite pregnant Omega doing?" he asks, sauntering over and leaning against my desk. "Those twins giving you hell yet?" I pat my belly, playing along. "They're practicing for the Olympics in there. You gonna help me out, or just stand there looking pretty?" He chuckles, rolling up his sleeves. "Anything for my man. Need a foot rub? I hear pregnancy's a bitch on the legs." Under the desk, Francis's hand twitches, and I feel a subtle tug on my pant leg, like he's begging me to say no. I bite my lip to keep from laughing. "Nah, I'm good," I say, giving Francis a discreet nudge. "Just sit. Catch me up on your trip." Jeffrey pulls up a chair, all casual grace, but his eyes flicker with amusement. He knows damn well Francis is under there, probably heard his heartbeat from the doorway. Alphas and their stupid senses. "Trip was fine," he says, leaning back. "But I'm back now. Gotta take care of my husband and our kids, right?" The desk creaks as Francis shifts, and I can practically feel his jealousy radiating. I decide to twist the knife. "Yeah, you've been gone too long. A guy could get lonely, you know. Might start looking elsewhere." Jeffrey's eyebrow arches, and he leans closer, voice dropping. "Oh, I'd never let that happen. You're mine, Vincent." A muffled thump comes from under the desk, followed by a hissed curse. I cough to cover it, but Jeffrey's lips twitch. Before I can redirect, Francis crawls out, hair mussed, clutching a pen like it's his lifeline. "Found it," he says, voice strained, standing and brushing off his slacks. "Dropped my pen. Sorry for the interruption." I stare at him, torn between awe and second-hand embarrassment. "A pen? Really?" He meets my gaze, defiant despite the flush creeping up his neck. "Yes. I'm your assistant. I need it for notes." Jeffrey snorts, crossing his arms. "Dedicated guy, huh? What's your name, assistant?" "Francis," he says, squaring his shoulders, his tone carrying a hint of challenge. "I handle Vincent's professional needs." The air crackles with tension, and I have to bite my cheek to keep from cackling. Francis's eyes dart between me and Jeffrey, his scent spiking with something sharp and possessive. Jeffrey, meanwhile, looks like he's enjoying this way too much, his grin practically predatory. "Professional needs?" Jeffrey echoes, leaning back. "That's cute. But I'm here now, so maybe you can take a break, Francis. I've got this." Francis's jaw clenches, and for a second, I think he might actually growl. Instead, he forces a tight smile. "With respect, sir, Vincent's under a lot of stress. I'm here to make his life easier. Unlike some people who Come and go. Oh, damn. I raise my eyebrows, impressed. Easy, boys, I say, leaning forward. No need to fight over me. Plenty of Vincent to go around. Jeffrey laughs, but Francis doesn't. His eyes lock on mine, raw and pleading. I'm not going anywhere, he says softly. Not unless you tell me to. My chest tightens, and I hate how much that gets to me. He's supposed to be the idiot who got me pregnant and forgot we're married, not this devoted wreck making my hormones go haywire. I clear my throat, breaking eye contact. Fine. Francis, get me a coffee. Decaf, obviously. Jeffrey, stop stirring shit. Jeffrey smirks, unbothered, while Francis nods, still glaring at him. Right away, he says, heading for the door but pausing to glance back at me, like he's afraid I'll disappear. As soon as he's gone, Jeffrey leans in, whispering. Your boy's got it bad. You sure this game's safe? I shrug, ignoring the flutter in my stomach. It's fine. He's got a thick skull. Literally. Jeffrey chuckles, but his eyes are sharp. Just don't break him, Vincent. Or yourself? I wave him off, but as I watch Francis's retreating figure through the glass door, I feel a twinge of something, guilt, maybe, or something softer. This was supposed to be fun, a way to mess with the guy who turned my life upside down. But the way he looks at me, like I'm his whole world, is starting to crack something in me. And that's a problem. Because if I'm not careful, I might just start believing this charade myself. Chapter 4: Dinner and Deceptions. A candle flickers on the dining table, casting shadows that dance across the plates of half-eaten takeout. The apartment smells like garlic bread and tension, the kind that could choke an alpha. I'm wedged between Francis and Jeffrey, my belly making it impossible to sit comfortably, while the twins seem to be practicing karate inside me. Francis, still in his life assistant role, sits across from me, peeling shrimp with surgical precision. Jeffrey, lounging like he owns the place, keeps stealing glances at him, lips twitching with barely concealed amusement. Shrimp? Francis offers, sliding a perfectly peeled morsel onto my plate. His fingers linger near mine, and his cedar spice scent hits me like a rogue wave. Damn him. Thanks, I say, popping it into my mouth and chewing slowly, mostly to avoid looking at either of them. Francis moved into the apartment next door this morning, rented it with suspicious speed, I might add, and now he's here, playing devoted sidekick while Jeffrey, my fake husband, smirks like he's directing a soap opera. Jeffrey leans back, swirling his wine glass. Gotta say, Francis, you're committed. Peeling shrimp for a pregnant guy? That's next-level assistant work. Francis's eyes narrow, but his smile stays polite, all sharp edges. I'm here to make Vincent's life easier. Unlike some people who just show up when it suits them. I choke on my shrimp, coughing to cover a laugh. Jeffrey's eyebrow arches, and he leans forward, elbows on the table. Oh, I show up plenty. Right, Vincent? Gotta keep my husband happy. Under the table, Francis's foot nudges mine, a subtle, deliberate brush that sends a jolt up my spine. My omega instincts flare, heat creeping up my neck. Stupid fake sex pheromones. I kick him back, hard enough to make him wince, but his foot slides higher, grazing my calf. This asshole's playing dirty, and I'm torn between shoving him off and dragging him to the bedroom. Happy's a stretch, I say, shooting Jeffrey a pointed look. You've been gone for weeks, husband. A guy could get ideas. Jeffrey grins, all teeth and charm. Ideas? Nah, you're too loyal for that. Aren't you, babe? Francis's fork clinks against his plate, and I swear I hear his teeth grind. Loyalty's earned, he says, voice low, peeling another shrimp with unnecessary force. Some people don't seem to try very hard. I bite my lip, loving this way too much. Careful, Francis, I say, leaning toward him. Sounds like you're jealous of my man here. His eyes snap to mine, raw and intense. Maybe I am, he says, soft but defiant. I'd never leave you alone, Vincent. Not for a second. The table goes quiet, the air thick with his scent and my traitorous pulse. Jeffrey clears his throat, breaking the spell. Wow, intense. You always this dramatic, assistant? Francis doesn't flinch. Only when it matters. His foot presses against mine again, bolder now, and I feel a flush crawling up my chest. Damn it, I'm supposed to be in control here, not melting into a puddle of hormones. Enough, I say, pushing my plate away. You two are giving me indigestion. Francis, pass the breadsticks. He obeys instantly, but his fingers brush mine as he hands them over, and I swear it's deliberate. Jeffrey notices, his grin turning wicked. So, Francis, he says, leaning back. What's the deal? You peel shrimp, rub feet, rent the place next door. You aiming for Employee of the Month or something else? Francis's jaw tightens, but he keeps his tone even. I'm here for Vincent. Whatever he needs. Unlike some people who only care about their own spotlight. Jeffrey laughs, loud and unapologetic. Spotlight? Buddy, I'm just here for my family. He reaches over, resting a hand on my arm, and I feel Francis's foot jerk against mine, like he's fighting the urge to launch across the table. Family, Francis repeats, voice dripping with disdain. Funny how you only show up when he's pregnant. I kick him under the table again, harder this time, but it doesn't stop the heat pooling in my gut. This is getting out of hand. My body's reacting to Francis's scent, his touch, his stupid, earnest devotion, and I'm 2 seconds from fake fainting just to escape. Pregnant omegas are not built for this level of drama. All right, enough dick measuring. I snap, standing and wincing as my belly protests. Jeffrey, stop baiting him. Francis, stop, whatever this is. I gesture vaguely at his foot, still pressed against my leg. Francis pulls back, looking chastised but not sorry. I just want to help, he says, eyes locked on mine. Tell me what you need, Vincent. What I need is for him to remember he's my damn husband, not some tragic fling. But I can't say that, not with his brain still scrambled and Jeffrey egging him on. Instead, I grab my phone and fire off a text to Francis, bedroom. Tonight. Figure out how to sneak in. My husband won't notice. His phone buzzes, and he glances at it, his face turning a glorious shade of red. He coughs, nearly dropping his fork. I need to step out for a bit, he says, standing abruptly. I'll be back to clean up. Jeffrey watches him go, then turns to me, smirking. You're evil, you know that? Stringing him along like this? I shrug, popping a breadstick in my mouth. He got me pregnant. I get to have some fun. Jeffrey leans closer, voice low. Fun's one thing, but you're playing with fire. That guy's ready to throw himself at your feet, and you're not exactly immune to him. I scowl, hating how right he is. Shut up. You're supposed to be my husband, not my therapist. He laughs, but there's a knowing glint in his eyes. Fine. But when this blows up, don't blame me. As Francis slips back in, carrying a stack of dishes to the sink, I catch his eye. He looks nervous, excited, and way too hopeful. My phone buzzes with his reply, I'll be there. Whatever it takes. I bite back a grin, my heart racing despite myself. Jeffrey's right, this is dangerous. But as Francis glances at me, his scent wrapping around me like a promise, I can't bring myself to care. Tonight, I'm letting this charade run wild, and I'm not sure if I'm ready for the consequences. Chapter 5, Mall Mayhem. Fluorescent lights buzz overhead, casting a harsh glow on the mall's polished floors. The air hums with chatter, the clink of shopping bags, and the faint whiff of pretzels from a nearby food court. I'm waddling next to Francis, my belly making every step a negotiation, while he carries a bag stuffed with baby clothes I impulse bought. His cedar spice scent is a constant distraction, and I'm half tempted to trip him just to keep my head clear. Stop hovering, I say, nudging his arm. I'm pregnant, not a porcelain doll. He adjusts the bag, eyes scanning me like I might collapse any second. Just making sure you're okay. These crowds are a lot. I roll my eyes but don't argue. Truth is, I'm exhausted, and the twins are throwing a rave in my gut. We're about to head for the exit when a perky voice blasts through a megaphone. Hey, you two! The gorgeous couple over there! Come join our event! I freeze, spotting a stage draped in velvet and ringed with cameras. A crowd's gathered, and a banner screams. Luxury Jewelers, Love and Bloom! Before I can bolt, 2 staff members in glittery vests grab our arms, dragging us toward the stage like we're contestants on some cursed game show. Vincent, what's happening? Francis hisses, his hand brushing mine before he yanks it back, like he's scared to be caught. No clue, I mutter, but my stomach sinks when I see who's at the center of the chaos. Jeffrey, in a pristine white suit, holding a microphone and grinning like the devil himself. Of course he's here, peddling diamond rings for some high-end brand. And of course we're about to be his props. Ladies and gentlemen, Jeffrey announces, his voice smooth as whiskey. We've got a special couple today. The crowd cheers, and I want to sink into the floor. Francis's face is pale, his eyes darting between me and Jeffrey, who is striding toward us with the velvet box in hand. Vincent, Jeffrey says, winking as he drops to one knee. The crowd gasps, cameras flashing like a lightning storm. I owe you a proper proposal. Marry me again? He opens the box, revealing a sparkling diamond ring, and slides it onto my finger before kissing my hand, slow and theatrical. The crowd loses it, phones out, live streaming my personal hell. I'm too stunned to react, my brain screaming abort mission while my hormones scream hot alpha alert, and not about Jeffrey. Francis makes a strangled sound, his sense spiking with something raw and wounded. I glance at him, and his eyes are glassy, his jaw so tight I'm surprised it doesn't crack. Vincent, he whispers, barely audible over the crowd's roar. Is this real? I open my mouth to lie, to keep the game going, but the hurt in his face stops me cold. Shit. I've pushed this too far. Before I can fix it, Jeffrey stands, slinging an arm around my shoulders. Smile for the cameras, babe. He murmurs, loud enough for Francis to hear. The host, oblivious to the drama, thrusts the microphone at us. So you two. Tell us, are you lovebirds officially hitched? Yes. I blurt, same time Francis says. No. The crowd laughs, thinking it's a joke, but Francis's face crumples. He holds up the shopping bag like a shield. I'm just his assistant. Helping with the baby stuff. That's all. The host's smile falters, sensing the awkwardness, but Jeffrey jumps in, all charm. Assistant? Nah, you're too pretty for that. But let's get to the good part, rings for everyone. He tosses a smaller box to Francis, who catches it reflexively, looking like he'd rather chuck it into the void. I pull away from Jeffrey, my heart pounding. Francis, wait. He shakes his head, stepping back. I get it, he says, voice breaking. I'm just the other guy. I thought I could handle it, but seeing this. He gestures at the ring, at Jeffrey, at the screaming crowd. I can't. I love you, Vincent. But I can't keep pretending I'm okay being your secret. My chest tightens, guilt clawing at me. Francis, it's not, I'm done, he says, turning away. I'll always love you, but I can't do this anymore. He starts walking, shoulders hunched, and I'm rooted to the spot, the ring on my finger feeling like a shackle. Jeffrey leans in, whispering. Told you this game was dangerous. You gonna let him go? I glare at him, yanking the ring off and shoving it into his hand. You're an asshole. I snap, then turn to the host. Show's over. Family emergency. The crowd murmurs, but I don't care. I push through, chasing Francis, who's already halfway to the escalators. My phone buzzes with a text from my doctor. Let him process emotions naturally. No forced confrontations. Great. Now what? Francis. I call, wincing as my belly protests the speed. He stops but doesn't turn, his scent heavy with pain. Wait. Please. He glances back, eyes red-rimmed. What's the point, Vincent? You've got him. You've got everything. I'm just nothing. You're not nothing. I say, voice softer than I mean. You're. I stop, because what can I say? That he's my husband? That this is all a lie? Not with his brain still scrambled. Just come back to the apartment tonight. We need to talk. He hesitates, then nods, barely. Fine. But I'm not staying if he's there. I want to scream that Jeffrey's not my husband, that Francis is, but the words stick. Instead, I text Jeffrey, clear up this mess. Now. He replies with a winking emoji, and I want to throttle him. But first, I need to fix this with Francis. As we head out, the mall's noise fades, but the weight of his hurt lingers. I've been playing with fire, and now I'm the one getting burned. Worse, I'm starting to realize how much I care about the idiot who thinks he's my mistress, and how much it'll hurt if I lose him for real. Chapter 6. Unveiling our vows in the bedroom. Soft lamplight spills across the bedroom, painting the walls in warm gold. I push the door open, my heart thudding against my ribs, and find Francis sitting on the floor, back against the bed, clutching one of my old sweatshirts like it's a lifeline. His dark hair's a mess, his hazel eyes red and glassy, and his scent, cedar and spice, now tinged with something raw and broken, hits me like a punch. My belly aches, the twins restless, as if they sense the chaos I've caused. Francis. I say, voice quieter than I mean. We need to talk. He looks up, startled, and scrambles to his feet, the sweatshirt falling to the floor. I was just cleaning, he mumbles, but his voice cracks, betraying him. I didn't mean to, stop it. I cut in, stepping closer. No more lies. No more games. Jeffrey's voice echoes from the doorway, where he's leaning, arms crossed, his actor's grin nowhere in sight. Yeah, about time you two sorted this out. I'm done playing prop husband. He's in jeans now, his white suit from the mall fiasco gone, but his presence still feels like a spark near gunpowder. Francis's gaze darts to him, then back to me, his jaw tightening. What's he doing here? He asks, voice low, like he's bracing for another blow. I sigh, rubbing my temple. Jeffrey, give us a minute. He raises his hands, backing off. Fine. But I'm not leaving till we clear up that hot mess of a live stream. He pauses, eyes flicking to Francis. And for the record, I never stole Vincent from you. You're the one who's been in love with him forever, you idiot. Francis freezes, his face a kaleidoscope of shock and shame. What? Jeffrey smirks, but there's no malice in it. High school. You'd glare at me every time I got near him. Kept me locked in my own damn room once, ranting about how I'd never deserve him. Sound familiar? My jaw drops. Wait, what? I turn to Francis, who's gone tomato red, his hands clenched at his sides. You did that? He looks away, throat bobbing. I don't remember everything. But I remember being jealous. Of him. He jerks his head toward Jeffrey. You liked him, Vincent. I hated it. I stare, pieces clicking together. The gifts we fought over, the way Francis always showed up when I was with Jeffrey, the stupid competitions that defined our childhood. It wasn't just rivalry. It was him, wanting me, and me too blind to see it. Jeffrey claps his hands, breaking the tension. Great, therapy session started. I'm out. Vincent, call me when you need me to tweet an apology for that proposal stunt. He winks, then slips out, leaving the air heavy with silence. I turn to Francis, my heart racing. You're not my mistress, I say, stepping closer. You're my husband. We've been married 5 years. Shaped marriage, sure, but it's you. Not Jeffrey. His eyes widen, and he stumbles back, hitting the bed. What? His voice is barely a whisper, his sense spiking with confusion. But the photos, the apartment, fake, I say, cutting him off. Willie set it up to mess with you. You fell down the stairs, hit your head, and your brain decided you were my secret lover. Probably because you've been reading too many of those cheesy romance novels. His face goes from red to ghost white, then red again. I thought. He covers his face with his hands, groaning. Oh God, I thought I was, Vincent, I'm so sorry. I laugh, despite myself, and sit on the bed, patting the spot next to me. Sit. You're not dying, just embarrassed. He sinks down, still hiding his face. I told you I loved you. Repeatedly. Like some pathetic stop. I say, grabbing his wrist and pulling his hand away. His eyes meet mine, raw and vulnerable, and my chest tightens. You meant it, didn't you? All that stuff about loving me, even when you thought you were just a fling? He nods, slow and hesitant. Yeah. I've loved you forever. Since we were kids, fighting over who could run faster. I just never said it. Thought you'd laugh. Or hate me more. I swallow, my throat tight. I didn't hate you. Okay, maybe a little, when you beat me at everything. But then, I don't know. Somewhere along the way, I started liking you. A lot. And then you got me pregnant, you asshole, and I didn't know how to deal with it. His eyes snap to my belly, and he reaches out, then stops, like he's afraid to touch me. The twins, they're mine? Duh, I say, rolling my eyes. You got drunk, went full alpha, and marked me. I ran off to Europe because I was freaking out. But yeah, they're yours. He exhales, a shaky laugh escaping. I'm an idiot. Certified. I agree, but I'm smiling. But you're my idiot. And I love you too, okay? Took me a while to figure it out, but I do. His breath catches, and for a second, he just stares, like he's waiting for the punchline. Then he leans in, slow and careful, and kisses me. It's soft, tentative, nothing like the frantic, hormone-fueled moments we've had lately. This feels real, like a promise we're both ready to keep. I pull back, grinning. So, we're married, we're having twins, and you're not my mistress. You good with that? He laughs, the sound warm and bright, his scent wrapping around me like a hug. Yeah. I'm good. Better than good. I nudge his shoulder, leaning into him. Great. Because I'm starving, and you're on dinner duty. No shrimp this time, Jeffrey ruined it. He groans, but his arm slides around me, pulling me close. Deal. But you're explaining this to our kids one day. I'm not taking the fall for the whole mistress thing. I laugh, resting my head on his shoulder, the twins settling as if they feel the shift too. The room's quiet now, just us and the soft hum of the city outside. For the first time in months, I feel steady, like the ground's finally solid under my feet. Francis's hand finds mine, his thumb brushing my knuckles, and I know, whatever comes next, twins, chaos, or more stupid misunderstandings, we'll figure it out together.